Hello dear student, I am Dr. Richa Chaudhary from Division of Life Science, Department of Biosciences. Today we are going to discuss about topic protein sequencing.
So the objective of today's topic is to understand the variance method that is used during protein sequencing. So first we will understand what is protein sequencing. Basically, protein sequencing refers to the methods for determining the amino acid sequence of the protein or a polypeptide. An analysis of the sequence, for example, to infer the protein conformation. So there are various procedures available to analyze the protein structure, and there are several protocols also present to label and identify the amino terminal and the carboxy terminal of the protein. So this is a pictorial representation of a protein that represents the free amino terminal amino group and the free carboxylic group. So in protein sequencing method, we will analyze the amino acid sequence in the protein. The methods of protein sequencing are Sanger method, Edman degradation method, and enzymatic cleavage method. Now we will come to the Sanger method of protein sequencing. This method was developed by Frederick Sanger. In this method, the stepwise release and identification of amino acid starting from the N terminal occurs. There are several Sanger reagents that are used in Sanger sequencing method. 1-fluoro-2,5-dinitrobenzene FDNB, Danbyl chloride, Dancyl chloride, these are the some of the Sanger reagent. In this protein sequencing method, the free amino group of N-terminal labeled with the Sanger reagents. So after the amino terminal residues is labeled with one of these reagents, the peptide is hydrolyzed to its constituent amino acid and the labeled amino acid is identified. For example, two residues, phenylalanine and glycine, was labeled if insulin was subjected for protein sequencing. This is a pictorial representation of Sanger method of protein sequencing, in which the N-terminal of polypeptide is labeled with 2,4-dinitrophenyl. So after labeling with 2,4-dinitrophenol, the N-terminal of polypeptide is treated with 6 molar HCl. After that, the 2,4-dinitrophenol derivative of amino terminal residues get released, and this N-terminal residues is identified by gas liquid chromatography. There is certain limitation in Sanger method of protein sequencing. In this sequencing method, the polypeptide chain is totally destroyed because of the acid hydrolysis step. Another method of protein sequencing is Edman degradation method. The Edman degradation procedure labels and remove only amino terminal residues from the peptide, similar to the Sanger method of protein sequencing. The peptide is reacted with phenyl isothiocyanate under mild alkaline condition. Which converts the amino terminal amino acid to the phenylthiocarboamyl, that is PCT adduct. The peptide bond next to the PTC adduct is then cleaved in a step carried out with a anhydrous difluoroacetic acid, which results in the removal of derivatized amino terminal amino acid. This derivatized amino terminal amino acid is extracted with organic solvent, which is converted to the more stable phenylthiohydrotone derivative by treatment with aqueous acid, and then this amino terminal amino acid is identified. So after removal and identification of the amino terminal residue, the new amino terminal residue so exposed can be labeled, removed and identified through the same series of the reaction. This procedure is repeated until the entire sequence is determined. The Edman degradation is carried out on a machine known as sequencer. That mixes reagent in a proper proportion, suppress the product, identify them, and record the result. The limitation of demand degradation method of protein sequencing. This method proceeds from the end terminal of the protein. So, if the end terminal of protein is chemically modified, then this protein sequencing method doesn't work. One of the important things we have to remember during protein sequencing that the overall accuracy of amino acid sequencing generally declines as the length of the polypeptide increases. The very large polypeptide found in protein must be broken down into the smaller pieces to be sequenced efficiently. There are several processes and the method involves to fragment the large protein into smaller polypeptide sequence. The one of the method is oxidation of cysteine residue with performic acid going to produce two cysteine residues, and we can also reduce the cysteine disulfide bond by dithiothiol. It is going to cleave the disulfide bond. So we can conclude that protein sequencing is a technique to determine the amino acid sequence of a protein. It gives information regarding which conformation the protein should adopt. So by knowing the sequence of the protein, we can know the conformation of the protein. Discovering the structure and the function of a protein in a living organism is an important tool for understanding the cellular processes. Certain amino acid sequence the protein serve as signals that determine the cellular location and the chemical modification of the protein. The first protein sequencing was achieved by Frederick Sanger in 1953. He determined the amino acid sequence of bovine insulin. These are the books you can refer, and thank you.